we're also staying on top of that breaking news in the case of Gabby Petito. The FBI executing a search warrant at the home of her fiance, Brian Laundrie's family. Laundrie still missing. Jay Gray has made his way to that house in Northport, Florida. Jay, what are you seeing right now?
Well, Craig, good morning. FBI agents still inside the Laundrie home right now. Let's kind of give you a breakdown of what happened this morning. Before the agents showed up, we know that Brian Laundrie's dad walked out. There's a Mustang that you can't see in the driveway here behind these agents' vehicles. He pulled some paperwork out, went back inside. Agents showed up not long after that. You can see their vehicles here, including that van. Laundrie's parents were pulled out of the house for about an hour. They stayed inside the van. They are back inside now. Of course, the agents back inside as well. As you talked about, executing that search warrant just a day after FBI agents in Wyoming said that they believe they found the remains of his missing fiance. Brian Laundrie still missing. We know that they had been searching a nature reserve here in the area. That search ended about 6 o'clock last night. They're not back at the reserve. Talked to police today. What they say is we're not there and we're not working, but the search for Brian Laundrie continues right now, Craig.
All right. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see everybody. And yes, crime story, very, very heartbreaking. But I'm comfortable with the way things are moving forward. Not exactly how things have been handled, but how things seem to be moving forward. Okay, because it didn't take long before they got a search warrant and started searching that house. Like there's a lot of heat on law enforcement right now. No pun intended. There's a lot of heat on law enforcement right now regarding results here and justice for Gabby. So I'm glad that now I as far as I know, it's rumor. I don't have any confirmation on Brian's mom working for the DA's office at some point, but it seems irrelevant now because what we're looking at here, it seems to be absolutely a federal case because it's the FBI that executed the search warrant on the Laundrie home. So I'm happy about that. That means that she can't hide behind her local friends if that's the case. So I'm glad that the FBI is handling this, at least so far. So as you heard just now, the FBI did execute a search warrant on the Laundrie home, and I'm really glad that they did. And there was a rumor floating around that they found a body behind a dumpster, something to that effect. And it was just a rumor. It's not true. Brian is still missing. Still hiding, still on the run is the way I would prefer to put it. I don't know. See, here's the thing: I'm wondering if people are taking that. If they're overstating just the tape off, that I would assume that they would tape things off with crime scene. They probably don't have yellow tape that says warrant being executed. They just have crime scene and caution tape. You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking is they closed it off so that no evidence can be tampered with or tainted in any way. So I don't think, I'm thinking that they just, that was just them closing the area off. I'm not sure if there's actually a crime scene. Right. That's what I'm thinking, a look of my life. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, you're saying the body behind the dumpster wasn't fake. It just wasn't Brian, right? And everybody keeps thinking that this dude unalived himself, and I'm just not buying that, man. I'm just not buying that. He just seems too much of a Nancy boy to do that. I don't think that he has it in him to do that. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I agree with you, Nicole Venditti. I think so too. I haven't heard anything about that. But we got a lot of stuff to go over tonight. We've got some interesting stuff to go over tonight because I actually happen to have the actual search warrant, which is right here. And I'm going to read that because I haven't even read it yet, guys. So, in the name of the state of Florida, it's the 12th Judicial Court, County of Sarasota. In the name of the state of Florida, to all and singular, the sheriffs and their deputies, the director of the Florida Highway Patrol and his troopers, the commissioner of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and his special agents, the director of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and his officers, and constables, municipal police officers, and state attorneys, investigators, all acting within their jurisdiction. Whereas I have received affidavit for search warrant on this date made before me by the affiant, Detective Daniel Alex, I think, number 39. I think that's what it says. Sorry, the print is really small on this, so I apologize, guys. It's really small and really bold, so it just kind of bleeds together, and it's difficult to read. Who has prepared same in his capacity as law enforcement officer. And whereas the detective, having been placed under oath and having sworn to the fact as stated therein, and having examined the said facts set forth to support blah 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 blah. Let's just skip all that, guys. That's just all right. So I just want to get to the stuff, the details, to the deets, folks. Your affiant is a detective with the Northport Police Department and is currently assigned to the Criminal Investigative Division. Your affiant has been a police officer for approximately 10 years and has been assigned to the Criminal Investigative Division for 9 months. Your affiant is charged with the responsibility of investigating crimes such as crimes against persons or property and the investigation of missing persons. The subject, Gabrielle Venora Petito, and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, left from New York State sometime in mid-June 2021 for a vacation to Utah, traveling a variety of national parks along the way. While they were on their trip, they documented some of the events on a YouTube video, Van Life, beginning our van life journey. During the trip, the subject sent multiple text messages and had many talks with her mother, Nicole Schmidt, via cell phone communication using her subscriber number blank issued by T-Mobile. During these conversations, there appeared to be more and more tension between her and Laundrie. On August 12th, 2021, a report was generated by the Moab City Police Department, Moab, Utah, referenced a domestic disturbance between the subject and Laundrie. In the report, Officer Robbins wrote, and we read this here, after evaluating the totality of the circumstances, I do not believe the situation escalated to the level of domestic assault as much as that of a mental health crisis. Officer Robbins stated that the subject was having a severe case of anxiety per the subject's testimony on scene. Laundrie also told the responding officers that he was concerned about the subject because her anxiety had worsened during the extended trip. August 27th, 2021, the subject's mother, Nicole Schmidt, received an odd text from the subject. The text message read, "Can you help Stan? I just kept getting his voicemails and missed calls." The reference to Stan was regarding to her grandfather, but per the mother, she never calls him Stan. The mother was concerned that something was wrong with her daughter. Interesting. So she never calls her grandfather by his name, but mom received a text message. Nicole, Gabby's mom, received a text message from Gabby, from her device anyway, saying, can you help Stan? Interesting. This is the last communication anyone had with the subject. Her cell phone was no longer operational, and she stopped posting anything on social media about their trip. Per her family, this was not normal behavior for the subject, and they became more worried about her. On September 11th, 2021, the subject was entered as a missing person by the Suffolk County Police Department in New York. Based on the reports from the Moab City Police report, it appears the subject is also in danger due to mental health concerns. On September 11th, 2021, the subject's van, a white Ford Transit bearing Florida tag QFTG03, was located at her address at 4343 Wabasso Avenue, Northport, Florida. Per the license plate reader installed at the Sumter Boulevard exit off Interstate 75, that vehicle entered the city of Northport on September 1st, 2021 at approximately 10:26 a.m. Let's go back here a little bit. Okay, so according to this, it seems that there were concerns about her mental health issues. So it seems that she clearly had legit mental health issues, and her parents made this a concern for law enforcement when it comes to finding her, which I find interesting. And you guys, something really interesting also is something else really interesting to me is that and I'm going to try to find it actually. The actual 911 call has been released of the witness in Moab. So the actual 911 call has been released, and this guy states that he saw Brian actually slap Gabby. Very, very interesting. We did not know that, but here this guy clearly says on the phone call that he witnessed her get slapped. So at this point, I am absolutely voicing my disapproval of how the Moab Police Department handled that. I mean, what does that witness have to gain by just making that up? You know what I mean? He's a total stranger. He has nothing to gain. He was trying to help. He called the police. He saw a girl getting hurt, and he called the police to report it. So that's interesting to me because they basically treated her as though she was the aggressor. All right, so Brian Laundrie's family stated that the subject was not at the residence and they did not know her whereabouts. They refused to allow Brian to speak with law enforcement and directed the officers on scene to speak with their attorney. Interesting. So right there, it's stating, according to this affidavit, to this search warrant, according to this is saying that they refused to allow Brian to speak with law enforcement. Based on the totality of the circumstances related to the subject's mental health, I believe there is probable cause to believe that the subject is unable to care for herself due to her increased anxiety. Due to this behavior, our concerns for her welfare have reached an exigent level. Her cell phone has been turned off for approximately 15 days, and there have been no sightings of her since August 27th, 2021. On September 14th, at approximately 7 p.m., a signed search warrant was executed for the subject's vehicle, the 2012 Ford Transit van, at the Northport Police Department. Within the subject's vehicle, the crime scene technicians located a black Western digital external hard drive with the serial number, and it says so right here. This computer's external storage device is potentially the subject property, and due to that, it may contain viable digital forensic data that could assist in the location of said missing endangered subject. I wonder what's on that hard drive. Your affiant knows the computer hardware, software, and electronic files may be important to a criminal investigation in two distinct ways. One, the objects themselves may be contraband, evidence, instrumentalities, or fruits of crime, and or two, the objects may be used as storage devices that contain contraband evidence. Contraband evidence, instrumentalities, or fruits of a crime in the form of electronic data. This affidavit also requests permission to search the computer hardware and may contain said electronic data, and if it becomes necessary for reasons of practicality, to remove the hardware and conduct a search off-site. Your affiant believes that in this case, the computer hardware is a container for evidence, a container for contraband, and also itself an instrumentality of the crime under investigation. Based upon your affiant's knowledge, training, and experience, your affiant knows the searching and seizing information from computers often requires agents to seize most or all electronic storage devices, along with related peripherals, to be searched later by qualified computer expert in a laboratory or other controlled environment. This is because of the following. The volume of evidence, computer storage devices like hard disks, diskettes, tapes, laser discs, flash drives can store the equivalent of millions of pages of information. Searching that vast amount of information makes is very time-consuming task. This sorting process can take weeks or months, depending on the volume of data stored, and it would be impractical and invasive to attempt this kind of data search on site. All right. This is basically just explaining, just detailing why it's important to search the data. It's a lot of it, and I'm not going to go over all of that. But the evidence that is sought, any and all external storage devices, commercial software and hardware, computer disks, disk drives, tape drives, disk, blah, 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 all that stuff. Any digital documents, notes, yeah, it just goes into all that. Okay. So I'm thinking this probably is not the search warrant for the home. I think it's just a search warrant for the electronic device that was found in the van. So I think that's all that is. Okay. And guys, thoughts and prayers to Katie Joy, because according to her and her tweet, the FBI showed up with bulletproof vests. The FBI showed up with bulletproof vests and knocked on her door because someone told her that Brian Laundrie was hiding in her house. What a moron. Because you're in your DMs, troll. Yeah, okay. All right, I guess I'll just do it the old school way. Yeah, Amber, she totally did that. It's funny. I mean, the comments are hilarious, because some people are like super sensitive about it. Some people are like, some people were like, "Oh my God, you have to take this down. What if the family sees it?" I mean, yeah, true, but her family doesn't strike me as Katie Joy followers. So, but there's other comments that are just funny, like you have to insert yourself into everything, don't you? It's just so funny. Yeah, she needs all the attention. It's ridiculous. Like how these cases just bring out the wacky in people, man. Yeah, we're gonna go over a bunch of stuff, man. Let me go over that 911 call. If I can ever find it. There we go. Hold on, let me shut this thing up. Who's that? Maybe it's this. I hear noise. Whatever. Anyway.
Satisfying.
Oh, look at that. Nikki Gunderson. Did you see the comment made by a Brian Laundrie in the live of the red, white, and B thing last night? Said Gabby was never going to escape. I mean, I'm sure that was just a troll. I'm sure that channel brought out all the trolls.
Hi, can you hear me, sir? Yeah, I can hear you. Hi, I'm calling. I'm right on the corner of Main Street by Moonflower, and we're driving by, and I'd like to report a domestic dispute in Florida with the white van, Florida license plate, white van, gentleman, 5-6 years. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what do you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's a white van?
White van. I give you the license plate. Just give me 1 sec. I took a picture of it.
What kind of white van? Like a big one?
I wonder if this guy's thinking, like, was it a rape van?
With the license plate of, it was white, Florida license plate QFT G03. The make was a Ford, model was Transit, black ladder on the passenger side.
Black ladder, passenger side.
White Ford Transit.
White Ford Transit. Okay, what's your name? And where did they? So they turned. They headed south on Main Street from Moonflower Market.
Correct. They made the right turn.
They went north.
North. Yes, sir. I'm not from around here.
Okay. You're right there by the post office.
Right across the street. Yep.
Okay. And when they turned onto Main Street, they went right or left?
Right.
Right. So they went north. North on Main. All right. I will let somebody know. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries.
Bye.
Thanks.
Why is everybody hating on this dispatcher? That's weird. Like, I mean, he just seems like he's just trying to get the facts. And you got to understand, this is before any of all this happened. Like, this guy's not going to know what it's the van's insignificant to him. It's just another call, you know? And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be more empathetic, but I mean, it's not news when a dispatcher, I mean, dispatchers almost always are like this. Almost always. Are like this. So now there's also something where there's a forensic psychiatrist who kind of chimes in on the footage when the police actually respond to this call. What's up, dude? So this guy says, let me see if I can get his name. Dr. Cohen. Dr. Ezra Cohen says, we really don't know how extensive the fight was. Cohen, a clinical assistant professor of psychiatry at Weill Cornell Medical College of Cornell University and staff member of New York Presbyterian Hospital, told Fox News, what we know is that when they were pulled over by the police, she was very upset and they were both minimizing their argument. I think that's clear. She appears to try to blame it on her OCD, and he talks about his muddy shoes. She also says she's under a lot of stress. In the body cam footage, Petito, who was reported missing on September 11th, appears distressed and apologetic, while Laundrie appears calm after what they describe as a stressful morning. Laundrie tells police in the video that the scratches on his cheek came from Petito. Police separated the pair while questioning them. Cohen added that such imbalance of the emotional state between the pair, as seen in officers' body cam footage, does raise a red flag, because Petito doesn't just look like someone who's having a panic attack or who's anxious. She looks scared, he said. She looks very overwhelmed. She was emoting too much, or she was emoting so much that it was very clear that there had been an incident and there had been a problem of some kind that she was struggling with. People with OCD are not violent. OCD is not a risk factor for violence. If there was an altercation between them, certainly OCD would not be fodder for something that would lead her to hurt him. It could cause an argument. If she does have OCD, he might get upset with her or she might get upset with him, but people with OCD are not violent. Interesting. He also suggested that they might have been intoxicated in some capacity. They're going on a van trip cross country. They're in the desert. Those are some settings in which young people tend to use substances and can make them have an altered mental state. They can feel overwhelmed. They can have a bad trip, or it could lead them to act irrationally. It could also lead them to get into an altercation. So this is what he has to say about the Laundrie family. I think the parental instincts tend to be very strong. There's also parental tendency to not see the worst in one's own children. And so when you find those two tendencies, There's a tendency to deny that one's child could have been involved in such a crime and to protect them at all costs. FBI agents entered Laundrie's parents' home on Monday and temporarily removed them from the premises. So that's that. So that's interesting. I find that really interesting because I said that when we went over the body cam footage here, I said that I was like, that doesn't seem like that seems like somebody who's literally scared. She doesn't seem like she's just having some sort of panic attack. She seems terrified, frightened. And now we know, based on that 911 call, that he was basically slapping her around. So yeah, it's just awful. Bailey Goins, let's see. In the Dr. Phil episode that was posted today, Dad confirmed that she was never diagnosed with anything abusive relationship. You tend to take the blame, right? Yeah, we've discussed that. So, but it's good to know. It's interesting to know that she was not. And thank you for the super chat. It's interesting to know that she was not actually, according to Dad, diagnosed with anything. So, and we're going to show something else that's pretty interesting, guys. So if you guys remember Josh's stream the other night, the long one that he did, and he was going over that van footage, the footage that the couple happened to catch, and while he was editing, noticed the white van. And he was having a hard time. There was talk of the van door opening, and we just couldn't enhance it enough. But now there's enhanced footage that we're going to go over right now. All right, let me full screen this bad boy. Now you can see this. Right here's the van, and it's just going to repeat over and over again. It's closed now, but it was just open. Watch, it's open right now. See it? And now it's closing. One more time. See that? Let's watch it one more time. See it right here. Open, now closed. So basically he saw this RV coming up and shut the van. So this is most likely when he is disposing of her body, or actually killing her. And this is interesting because we now have all of this. We have access to a lot of evidence, guys, and we still don't even know what evidence law enforcement has. Who knows what they found on that drive? Who knows what they found on that drive? Who knows what they found in the house? Who knows what they found in the van? One second, guys. Okay. Yeah, man. Those now that couple, man, they did a live stream on their channel and they were already monetized, and man, did they clean up. And rightfully so. I'm not even trashing them for that. They absolutely deserve it. They absolutely broke the case. It's because of them filming that footage that they were able to find and locate Gabby's body. So so they're heroes. They're heroes as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, man, all those super chats they were getting, man, they deserve every single penny. They deserve all the support. I absolutely and totally get behind that. Good for them. Good for them. Right. Exactly. They're donating it all? Wow. They don't even have to do that. Like there's no there's something wrong with you if you're criticizing them for receiving support monetarily from people who are grateful to them for what they've done. There's something wrong with you if you're criticizing them for that, in my personal opinion. But if they do donate it, great. I mean, that's even better. Good for them, man. But but I don't feel that they're under any moral obligation to do so in the slightest bit. What's MHA? I don't know. And I only saw one flip-flop. Everybody kept saying there was two. But I only saw one flip-flop. And it was upside down. And if I had to guess, I would say it was Brian's. Mental health awareness. I love that. Okay, thank you. What's up, your boy Gary? Agreed, Clara. This fool had me fooled with the body cam footage too. I feel like a chump. And hey, everyone, by the way, that's your boy Gary impression. Y'all check him out if you guys. Your boy Gary's big part of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard community. So go ahead and check out his channel. If you're following that Johnny Depp stuff. Let's see. Their son was killed on his 7th birthday in a car accident, and the day Gabby was found was the 20th anniversary. Oh my God. That is so sad. That is so sad. Okay, so you're saying on Twitter you saw that someone had the flip-flops compared to the photos of Gabby's feet and they matched. Okay. Well, I don't know what the hell you sound like, Mr. Harlan Tales of History's Famous Burglars. How am I going to do an impression of you if I don't? I mean, like, okay, here you go. There you go. Next to the flip-flops, there's a book and something else on top of it. Yeah. I don't do a lot of sleuthing here, guys. I'm a big fan of shut up, Jerry. I'm a big fan of of letting law enforcement do their jobs because they're trained professionals, and I'm just this guy up here talking. So I like to let the professionals do what they do. I mean, we can speculate and all that sort of thing as long as it's responsibly. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go crazy trying to figure out what was next to the van, what wasn't. Law enforcement's on it. You know, this case is getting more media attention than any case that I can remember. Definitely any case since I started on YouTube. So yeah, that is so sad, man. That is so sad. Well, I do hope your sciatica does get better, dude. I really do. That's why I only saw one. That's why I only saw one, because they were on top of each other. Interesting. We don't have footage of the house. I mean, there's just footage of like law enforcement going in the house and the parents being sat in a van. I mean, I don't see the need to actually go over that. I mean, it's been blasted all over Fox News all day. Anytime, turn on Fox News, and within 10 or 20 minutes, at some point, they're going to show it. I just went over that footage, Douglas Webb. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, I did already go over that footage just now. No, I mean, he won't. Like, this is an interesting thing, because basically a confession, unless his attorney tells him, hey, because it all depends on how much evidence that they've collected, right? So if they have enough evidence to convict him, what they'll do is they'll present this to his attorney. The DA will present it to Laundrie's attorney, and his attorney will say, okay, well, we'll either go to trial and fight it because I don't think you have enough evidence and I think I can disprove your case, or he'll advise Brian to take a plea deal and plead guilty. But they already, I mean, I'm guessing that they already have enough evidence. I'm hoping that they have enough evidence. I did not. But yeah, I'm hoping that they have enough evidence, because they're I'm hoping they have enough evidence because they hopefully, because the family's gone through enough. You guys know how I feel about this. Those of you who have been subscribed for me for a while, you guys know how I feel about that. And I don't think it's right for him to put her family through any more than he already has, but he probably will. It just all depends on what his attorney advises him to do. And it all, like I said, and that all depends on how much evidence law enforcement has. But a confession is off the table unless he is planning on pleading guilty. Confession is absolutely off the table, because they're not going to interrogate him. He's already lawyered up. He's lawyered up before law enforcement even saw where he was. See, that's not responsible. I mean, I get that people feel that he did, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Because first of all, if he actually did, if he has actually unalived himself, if he has done this, he's so much of a drama queen and an attention whore that I feel that they would have already found his body. Hey, that he would have made some sort of production out of it. So I do not believe that he has unalived himself, at least not yet. I do believe that he is hiding. I do believe that the parents gave him a head start to run. I think that it's likely he's probably not even in the country at this point. And like I said, I am really, really glad that that it is a federal case. And I agree with you, Mermaid. I think because remember we were talking about Josh Taylor's interview and we were showing that and we were laughing and having a good time because he just looks so frustrated at the questions that were being asked of him. And I'm now realizing that I believe that this has been the consensus within law enforcement this entire time. I think that when he was like, dude, that is a good question. Why did they wait 3 days to report him missing? Interesting. So I'm pretty sure that the law enforcement knows that they gave him a head start, and I'm really, really, really hoping that they can get evidence of this and they can charge them. I absolutely hope so. I think both of those people need to be locked up. I mean, not for the rest of their lives or nothing, but they definitely need to be held accountable for their part in where Brian Laundrie is today and right now. Yeah, I'm with you, Jessica Neff. I'm with you. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm wondering about that. Now, supposedly, they found his Mustang somewhere, and there was a note in the Mustang, but they never said it was like a suicide note or anything like that. They just said there was a note, probably saying goodbye, I'm out of here. Is that what it was? Really? It was a bit from the park rangers telling him to move the car. Like, dude, get this car out of here. What are you doing? Okay, that's the second person saying so I believe it. I believe it. And that's why the parents went and got it. Gotcha. Okay. See, that's why I love y'all, man. That's why I love y'all. Y'all are so well informed. Right. And remember, it's going to take a few days before it could take all week before an autopsy is done. It could be tomorrow that the autopsy is done. So we still have to find out what the cause of death was. I can't wait till that discovery gets released. Right. Okay, so it's confirmed that tomorrow they'll be doing the autopsy. What I'm saying is it could take, in order to get results, it could take all week. Could take a couple of weeks. I mean, pretty much. Like, I see, that's the thing. Even back then, even when I was 23, I could never put my mom through that. I could never have done that. Like, I would have to take responsibility. Like, even if like that's what makes no sense to me. Like, I even at 23, I would have been like, no, I can't put my mom through this. You know, I'm gonna turn myself in. You know, um, like all you got to do is turn on a TV. All you got to do is open a phone, and then you're gonna see all of the backlash that the Laundrie family is getting. I'm glad you like it here, Angela Dawn. I'm happy to have you. I feel like it is. I feel like it is. And what I feel like what actually happened was, okay, we're going to give you a head start. But because, like, I mean, if they told him to lawyer up, right? Their plan was probably to give him a head start, then then report him missing. And the only reason that I believe that exists as to why they actually reported him missing was to cover their own asses so that they can't be charged with aiding and abetting. That's what I think is the entire motive behind them reporting him missing. Not because they're worried about him, not because of anything other than since they understand the importance of lawyering up and not saying a word, well, then they probably also understand and very much appreciate the value of plausible deniability. So that's what I'm thinking. Let's see. I just reviewed the van footage. The door is not open. It looks like it's cracked open because of the black ladder. As the camera passes by, the black ladder is at a different angle, giving an illusion. Yeah, I don't know, man. That looked pretty. Yeah, I mean, I was already in my own apartment for 2 years. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. I mean, and it's really irrelevant. Like the van door opening and van door closing, it's really irrelevant. Like I said, these are details that are up to law enforcement in order to build their case, so that they have something to turn over to the DA, so that the DA can convict if need be when it comes down to it. Yeah, I was thinking that too when I heard about the Mustang. I was thinking that too. He's like, I won't drink out of a plastic bottle, but he's out there just failing emissions. Oh man, dude, this guy is unbelievable. Like, I can't wait till they catch his ass. Like, I seriously can't wait. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Yeah, when I heard about the Mustang, I was like, what? This guy drives a Mustang? What's he doing? Like, why is he not driving? You know, like why is he not driving a Prius like every other soy boy? Like, what do you He's a total poser. He's a total poser. Or a Vespa. I could totally see him driving a Vespa with a stupid shit-eating grin on his face. Or a Miata. Geo Metro. Do they even make those anymore? Exactly. Yeah. Like I won't drink out of plastic bottles. No. But man, don't I look cool in this thing? Wow. Nope. No, I didn't. I skipped the gym today, but I'm going to go tomorrow. Oh, yeah. And Barry's out. Barry Morphew's out. Don't even get me started on that. But I mean, that shouldn't surprise anybody. You know, like it all depends on the evidence that they have, whether or not he would be denied bail. And obviously he got bail, so he's bailed out. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. It's funny. Oh, man, that's funny. Oh, you like the thumbnail? Listen, man, I keep it real, okay? But but anyways, guys, I believe that I'm actually just gonna call it. We're gonna keep it a short one tonight, but I'm glad you guys could hang out. Like I said, any new updates, anything new that I find out, I'll be going live and we'll be doing this again. Yeah, so I really hope that they find him very, very soon. And as soon as they do, or if any new developments come up, you guys know I'll go live. But I love you guys very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.